Luke, let's start with a little bit of reflection the other night. I mean, it's great that you got three goals and the goals again shared around and everything. But there's one other thing I wanted to pick up on after what we heard you talking about after the game, and that was how hard working your team was to win the ball back. And that really busy midfield that once you did surrender possession on those rare times, you got it back so quickly each time. That must have pleased you enormously.
Yeah, thank you, because you're really accurate, and that's what we need to be built on. We know that we have threats in the team, and that's painfully obvious. But the opposition have threats, and I think first and foremost we need to deal with those, and then build up and try to give the ball to the guys with the really good instincts to score goals, and the guys with the really quick feet around the box. But it's pointless if we don't snuff out danger quickly and recover the ball.
And that's obviously, I mean, the hard work element is something you've obviously instilled early. But I wonder what comes with that, especially at the moment with two games a week so often over the next few weeks. We saw you sort of bring Macaulay Langstaff off at one point. Is managing your players and the amount of game time they get at the moment and over the coming months going to be important as well, given how much you ask of them on the pitch?
Yeah, again, you're spot on, because if I'm in a position so fortunate to be able to take big players, goal threats off the pitch before the game has got into the latter stages, then it's a great position to be in. I turned around to Ryan and said, I need Kedwin to score. I need Kedwin to score, because I could tell he was getting. I said to Ryan, I need him to score because I need to get him off. And then he made this brilliant action, scored his goal. And as the boys are celebrating, I said to Ryan to get the guys ready to replace him, because he's playing very well. And I think what Kedwin has added to his game is like an extra percentage of running power to press the opposition and to recover when he presses forward and the ball goes beyond, more direct. It's quite natural for players to say, well, I done my bit, I pressed the ball and forced the opposition to play more direct, but then you have to recover and you have to try to snuff the danger out when the ball lands for the second ball. And I think Kedwin has added that, and I think it's giving him more, it's keeping him in the game more. And he got the goal, and then of course you have Sam Austin is in brilliant form, and he's such a good player, and Cairo Mitchell is such a good player, and he finishes games in such a brilliant way as well, because you've been there with Maka, and you have to be ready with Maka. He's going to try to make a movement in the box, and he presses, and then this huge athlete comes on, really motivated, going to press you, and within minutes, within seconds, I think he nearly has a chance to score. So we have to manage the guys correctly. We have to try to remove them from the pitch at the right moment if we're fortunate to be in that place where we can do that. And then of course we have guys like Joel Taylor and Kevin Castro outside the squad. So we have to try to use the players in the right way.
As I mentioned, I think we're getting a very clear idea of what a Luke Williams team looks like, but you have only been here for a few months. I wonder how much more is going to change over the coming months. Do you think that the Notts County we see come the end of the season, do you expect it, do you want it to still be a bit different to even what we're seeing at the moment?
Yeah, I think that we working on a few small things in training that potentially can give us a different dynamic as well. That we're trying to make sure that we feel well rehearsed if we want to try to change a little bit. So we're trying to make sure we build that into the week. I don't want us to look. I don't want anyone to come and look and think, oh, it's not county anymore. I want us to look the same. I want us to be on the front foot, aggressive. I want us to try to take the ball at all opportunities and build up in the way we do. But potentially we're gonna at some point, when I think maybe it would be a good moment for us to change and to give a freshness to the players, and maybe one or two players play in a position that doesn't exist at the moment in our way of playing. So yeah, possibly there'd be a change there. I want us to look always the same though, from now until the very end, in a few elements the same, definitely.
Yeah, it's a difficult balance to find that, I guess, isn't it? Wanting to freshen things up and keep the players' minds on it to be taking on new ideas, but when things are working so well and you're winning, not wanting to change and disrupt that. It's a difficult balance.
Yeah, it's difficult, and that's the challenge I have, and the players as well need to be, always try to remain focused, for each game, and that's the challenge now that we have, and we're trying to think of ways to do that. There's, some meetings going on in the next few minutes to try to really concentrate on the things that are important to us and to show the guys the good stuff that they've done and things to avoid. See if we can push the performance level all the time.
Just thinking about your previous experience in management before and what you've got now with the team winning, how much easier is it to be able to instill your ideas, to be able to get things across when you've got the start that you've had and you're getting results and you're seeing those returns? Is it easier? It must be as a manager at that end of the table.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been in a role as a first team coach, previously at Swindon, at MK Dons, and at Swansea. But I think I've always had a very heavy involvement in setting the team up and the tactics of the team and so on. So I've always been very much at the front of that wherever I've been. And I'm fortunate enough to say that I feel like, on the whole, whether the results have been very, very good or indifferent or poor, most of the time I think at least the players can understand what I'm trying to achieve and the clarity of the message, even if we've struggled at times to actually produce it. Nothing is better than to try and make a game plan and an idea and the team to win. Nothing is better than that, and every coach will tell you that. But I'd like to think that we can survive, a dip in form. We can survive with believing that we're still doing things in the correct way. But for one reason or another, we didn't get a result. I'd like to think that we don't just completely crumble. But of course, to win is makes life easier.
Yeah, got to be more enjoyable as well, right? I don't know whether you get time with another game just a few days after the last one and constantly preparing for the next one. But do you allow yourself at the moment to just enjoy it with a glass of wine or something and look at the league table a bit?
Yeah, I always think like after the game, there's a few moments inside the office. We have a lovely room here for afterwards to try to entertain the opposition if they want to come and see us as well. And of course, we all are in the same boat. The managers and coaches and analysts and physio, everyone can try to talk to each other and ask each other the questions about our individual club. Few moments when you've won a game and it's nice and you feel a bit relaxed, and then you leave that room and you think you're only thinking about the next game. Hopefully, we have a chance to really enjoy and celebrate. Hopefully, if we do everything correctly throughout a long season, just maybe we get a chance to enjoy and look back.
Yeah, fans are certainly enjoying it. Thanks, Luke. Thanks very
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you.
Hi, Luke. Just on the results from Saturday, obviously you played on the Friday, had a bit of, kind of put your feet up and the pressure was on the other side. Have you, obviously with the results sort of going in your favour on Saturday, have you sort of reiterated to your players to keep their eye on the ball coming on to Tuesday, because obviously it's easy for them to think we're 3 points clear now, there's a little bit of a gap. Is it important that they remain focused ahead of Tuesday?
It really is, and we need to see how they handle this now. And the message from myself has been that we have another tough opponent. We might be going into a game where we don't see the ball as much as we've become used to seeing the ball, because this team can play brilliantly. They can really build up well and they can look after the ball. We have to be ready for a new challenge, a different opposition, a different pitch. We're playing away from home. There's always an element there so we've prepared exactly the same way that we prepared for every game. We didn't try to cut a corner or take it easy. No, we know that, and now the players, when we get to kick off, it's on them to show how focused they are and how much they want to remain in the position they're in now.
And just on Wealdstone, started the season quite well, but have dropped off in recent weeks. What are you expecting from them tomorrow?
Yeah, I think, like I say, a team that possibly take the ball off us and don't let us have it back very easily. We have to work hard to take the ball off of them, and then they have a different ways of playing, different formations, and the players change positions quite a lot. That gives them a different feel for the team. So there's a lot of potential problems. We try to run through the different scenarios today in training. We try to watch the opposition and see all the different things that they've done already this season, and try to be able to recognise that on the pitch and react well to it.
And then just going back to Friday, obviously Maka, Kedwin and Ruben were getting the headlines with their goals and their performances. But two players that were highlighted a lot were Geraldo Bajrami and Matty Palmer. How important are they to your side going forward, obviously in the absence of Jim O'Brien as well?
Yeah, I'm really pleased to hear that, because I thought both players gave a platform. They gave a platform for the attacking players to go and have plenty of moments, and that's what they want. They want balls to be across the box a lot. They want to try to be able to play together, combine around the box like Maka and Ruben did for Ruben's goal, and they can only do that with like a really good platform, discipline. Badge is a real destroyer, and he stops the opposition from so often. He stops them from being able to get a grip of the game. Matty distributes the ball like no one else in the division, really, in my opinion. So these two guys together, like you say, without Jim's performances leading up to the injury that he's picked up were immaculate. And I think when you look at Ed Francis as well, the way that he can distribute the ball, we're really fortunate to have those guys in the building. But certainly Friday night, Badge and Matty were a brilliant combination at being able to help us to recover the ball quickly and then be able to really set the guys up to play.
And then obviously, I know you spoke at Woking. Jim said it was about 6 weeks. How is his rehab going? Is it all going according to plan?
Yeah, all going well. He worked very, very hard today, and what people might not realise is that Jim is very much involved in on a match day, and with his experience, he's really giving us like an extra. It's like an extra coach when he's not having to focus on, preparing for the game and be in game mode. He's there watching and give us some really great information at half time actually in the Wealdstone game. So he's been fantastic in terms of fully committing to his rehab. Been very impressed with that, and then he's given us another dimension as well on a match day, and I'm really grateful for that.
And then just finally from me. Notts had 6,765 at Meadow Lane, and despite the game being on a Friday, it was the highest attendance in the National League over the weekend. How important are the fans going forward?
Yeah, it was incredible, and what about the moment when Ruben unfortunately missed the penalty, and then they sang his name. They sang his name. If you're a player, and like Ruben is, and you miss a penalty, Ruben was gutted. You could see in his body language, and then literally, 1 minute afterwards, they sang his name. The whole ground sang his name, and I saw him like that. It was amazing. It was brilliant, and hopefully, the most important thing is that we have a beautiful setting. We have brilliant fans, but they need something to be able to get excited, and hopefully, we attack. I know it took us 40 odd minutes to make a breakthrough, but I think even in that time you could see the intent was there to try and go in the box, and Maka had this goal ruled out, and you could feel like the crowd were urging us forward, and it was fantastic, really, really good.